Okay, collective, this is the third and final part in the readings that we've been doing. Let's see now, what is this person facing with that Queen of Swords energy? Grimoire, you have wisdom, experience, hidden knowledge. So that makes sense because this person has been finding their power against that other energy. And they're seeing what's the truth. What's really, because this Queen of Swords energy loves to tell half-truths, loves to try and embed fear into everything that they say. Fear, ultimatum, they're very conniving and manipulative. This person is seeing the hidden truth behind what this Queen of Swords says. Grim Reaper here. Yeah, there's a death to this person believing anything at face value that comes from this Queen of Swords. Mask, because they know this person is fake as hell. They know this person only says or does things that somehow benefit them. They're never just going to tell the truth. They're never just going to say anything that doesn't benefit them in some way, somehow. Everything that they say, every sense of urgency that they try to impose, it always somehow benefits them because they're very narcissistic. Fallen angel here. That speaks for itself. That it speaks for itself, God damn it. This person, but what I will say is there's an energy here of this Queen of Swords trying to be very damsel in distress, right? So they flip back and forth from trying to be very domineering and overbearing, you gonna do this and you gonna do that, to very how could you do that? And how could you do this? And you know that I loved you and I've been here for you. And it just very needy, help me. How could you do me this way? And that's that fallen angel energy. That's that I'm trying to act like I'm of the light, but really I'm full of darkness. Then you have Jinn. Yeah, that's what they really are. They're a demon. They're a demon trying to, look at this. Sabotaging relationships is next. This is what their purpose really is. If you guys know the myth of a jinn, it's kind of like a genie. That's kind of the genie in a bottle thing is based off of jinn. Loosely based, I should say, because it's not a happy-go-lucky Santa Claus type energy. This is a demon that, we're not gonna go into the myth, but they don't have very good intentions, okay? But they will grant you what you want in exchange for something. So I feel that this Queen of Swords energy is very much like that, in the sense of when this person, your person I'm saying, was still sleeping with them, they were very submissive in sex, very I'll do whatever you want, I'll let you do whatever you want to me, very much I'll give you your fantasies, right? In exchange for your loyalty and commitment to me and to making my life better, making my life easier. I'll give you the illusion of love and safety for your stability, for your provision. And now, this Queen of Swords would love nothing more if this person would just sleep with them again, so they can try and use some sex magic one more time in order to sabotage your relationship. They don't want this person to move on, not because they love them, because they were comfortable with their life together. And they don't want that to change. The house. The house that they're living in together represents the prosperity and abundance that this Queen of Swords wanted to secure from this person. Skull, it's a death to that old way of living, that old house of illusions, because this person doesn't sleep with them anymore. This person doesn't want to sleep with them because they know they've been doing magic on them. They know that sex magic was a big way that this Queen of Swords used to control them, to try to keep them dull to reality. But this person is transcending it. They're using their intuition. They're in their power. And you see how the skull is sitting on top of the book? It reminds me of the grimoire from the first card we pulled. This is knowledge, hidden knowledge of what's really going on. No matter what this Queen of Swords says, this person is seeing the truth behind what they say. The truth about who they really are, how demonic they really are. So what is this Queen of Swords doing? What's their plan? Altering your values and morals on making life decisions. Trying to manipulate and gaslight this person by saying, how could you break up this family? Don't you know what you're doing to your son or daughter? How could you say you're a good man or you're a good father and yet you be willing to do this to them? You're gonna make them into a single parent household just like your dad did you? You're gonna leave them just like your dad did you? For the collective? Because you're thinking with your dick? Or you're thinking with your pussy? That's what I was saying in the other readings we were doing. This person loves to try and tell half-truths where it sounds really, really good. It sounds really believable. You're gonna leave us in poverty? You know I can't provide on my own. You know I can't do all this on my own. You're gonna leave us in poverty so you can go and fuck some bitch? It's not love. This is love. Being with your family is love. You're thinking with your dick. And you're gonna get hurt. The collective doesn't love you. I don't know why you can't see that. I don't know why you'd be so foolish to give up what we had all these years, what we built. We have a whole family. I'm just channeling y'all. I'm allowing this crazy psychotic energy to come through so I can channel it for y'all. This is real love. You need to wake up and see that. I've been with you through X, Y, and Z. I stayed when X, Y, and Z happened. Ugh, so sick. Like, so you gonna say that, but you not gonna say that you did love spells and sex magic on me to get me to stay with you and to not see that you were doing love spells and sex magic. You knew when we first got together that I didn't want anything serious with you. And you said you were okay with that. But instead of actually being okay with that, what you did was begun doing sex magic on me to try and get me to change my mind, trying to affect my finances, trying to affect my willpower, my drive to want anything different in life, to see anything better, to think that I deserved anything better. You wanted me to settle for you and to provide for you. You used our child as an in or a pawn to try to get me to be with you lifelong so that you wouldn't have to take responsibility for your own life and make something of it, but that you could ride my coattails into abundance, wealth, and at the very least, provision, some type of provision. Ooh, this person is so crazy, y'all. And this is what they sit and tell them every day. Look, toxic. Be careful not to overindulge with alcohol or drugs. This person is toxic, and they definitely used alcohol and drugs to try and trap your person even further. What better way? than to wait until somebody is drunk or they're high and they're a little bit out of it. And as you're chanting while they're stroking you, or while they're going down on you, or even while you're going down on them, you're chanting and you're saying these spells, you're casting these spells. This person is so sick, even as they may have dug their nails into this person's back while they were having sex. They're carving sigils very, very inconspicuously, trying to mark this person. This is the type of sick, demonic shit this Queen of Swords was doing. And your person knows this now. And the Queen of Swords wonder why they don't want to touch them anymore. They don't want anything to do with anything they got to do with them. They've completely cut them the fuck off sexually. This person hating on you has narcissistic behavior. Everything is always about them. When your person tries to say, hey, I don't hate you. I just don't want to be with you anymore. I'm not in love with you. If you loved me like you said you did, why wouldn't you want me to be happy, even if that wasn't with you? This person, this Queen of Swords, they don't know what to say back to that. Because everything is about them, because they never did have real love for your person. And they hate you, collective, with a passion because your person loves you and wants to be with you and is choosing you over them. Because they're narcissists, they'll never admit that. They'll never say it that way. But it comes out in all this crazy ass spying and relentless arguing and guilt tripping. Anyone else that wasn't operating from a narcissistic behavior pattern would say, all right, it hurts because I love you and I want to be with you, but if you truly don't want to be with me anymore, then let's split. Let's separate. I don't want to be with anybody that doesn't want to be with me. I don't want to try and persuade someone to be with me or try to make someone feel like they don't have any other options than to be with me. That comes from low self-esteem and low self-worth. Anyone with some dignity and self-respect is going to say, damn, this really hurts. You know, and I'm not saying you wouldn't fight for your relationship at all, but months and months and months and years on end of trying to guilt trip a person into staying with you, no, that's way beyond fighting for a relationship, right? That's crazy. That's psychotic. And that's where this person is. What else? Jupiter retrograde. Problems with making important life decisions or important life changes for future benefits, expansion, abundance, or prosperity. This is what this person, this Queen of Swords, is trying to do now. Okay, well, I can't change your mind. Like I told you, I don't know if that was the last reading that we talked about that or the beginning of this reading, but they flip-flop back and forth between being this domineering, overbearing, you know, just straight up bitch to this damsel in distress victim mentality type of shit. So this is what they're trying to do now with Jupiter retrogrades. And I'm sorry about the spelling on the cards, y'all. These AI people, how they make these cards, oh my God. But I still use them because the information is really good. If you're intuitive, you can still glean from some of these decks, okay? So now they want to try to confuse, you see all like this fire and smoke here? Confuse your person. These are confusion spells. Oh, you're not going to be able to make important decisions. You're going to stay stuck in a state of paralysis, not being able to make an important life decision. Feeling like you're trapped, feeling like a victim. Anything that will benefit your abundance of love, health, and wealth, I'm trying to cast a confusion spell over it so that you don't know the right way to go. And this is the person that will stand up and say, how can you leave us? How can you leave this family? But look at the shit that they're doing. Look at the shit that they're doing to this person that they claim they love. You claim you love them, but you're trying to block their abundance and prosperity because they don't want to be with you? They talk about you behind your back. And this is pointed towards you, collective. This person knows who you are, for sure. How? Most likely spying. Spying, stalking. You know, maybe your person told them some things, but they're definitely talking about you. Who cares? Remote viewing, looking into your life with their mind. They try to use monitoring spirits. They try to send their ancestors. They try to work with other deities to try and see what's up with you. See what's going on with your money. What's going on with your love life. Has this person talked to you? If they talk to you, what are they saying to you? What are your guys' next plans? Why do they want this information? So that they can use it to cultivate their next spell. To try and get this person back. At the bottom, you have envious of your career and the money that you make. Absolutely. Very much looking at your life and thinking you don't deserve it. You don't deserve what you have. They deserve it. In their twisted little mind, they deserve this person because of all the work. I can't even say this shit with a straight face because this person's so crazy. You think you deserve a reward for all the demonic work that you put into keeping this person? But yeah, they're very envious of you. The person causing you negativity is an earth sign. So that could resonate for a lot of you. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. The person sending you all this negativity, evil eye, doing all these spells and things, they could be an earth sign. Or they could just have very earth-like qualities. They don't like change. And this person, your person I'm saying, has undergone such a huge transformation and is changing so much in their life that it's affecting this Queen of Swords energy, of course, because they had spent a lot of time with this person, many years with this person. They have kids or they're married or whatever. So this person, this Queen of Swords, doesn't like all this change, all this instability. They don't like the fact that they're going to have to get off their ass and actually make something of their life. They're not going to be able to have a part-time job. They're not going to be able to work, you know, at some random place only making a little bit of money. They're going to actually have to hustle and work to provide a living for themselves. They're not going to be able to just live off of child support or, you know, whatever their situation. I'm just throwing out random shit, but you know what I mean. They're not going to be able to just depend on your person anymore to be the primary breadwinner, to just make shit happen. They're going to have to fix their credit. They're going to have to make some more money. They're going to have to actually do something with their life to make a living. Anything else, sir? They constantly convince people that they are this and that. Yeah, they're very pretentious. They're very much like, oh, well, I did this way before, blah, blah, blah. Look, trickster spirit is next. I have to take that to come with this because they love to try to convince people that they're better than you. Sorry. That they're better than you. That they're more spiritual, more advanced, whatever. Any type of compliment that you get, that they see you get, they want to try to one-up you. And they can't. They can't. And anybody that would be in a better position wouldn't feel the need to do that. You know, usually if you feel like you are in a better position, you love to show love. You love to uplift others. You love to make other people feel good, make them feel secure. Because that's the place that you're in. You're confident, you're secure. So you're always giving compliments. You're always trying to uplift people, not this person. They love trying to tear you down. They love trying to make it look like, oh, you're not real, you're fake. You do this, you do that. You don't really got this. You don't really have the gift. You don't really, whatever. They're just always trying to, you know, make you look like you're a fraud, you're fake, you're not real. But it's really them. They're just projecting onto you. And then on this trickster spirit card, it says sudden loss of memory and things end up missing. So these confusion spells that they're doing, your person could find, especially if they still live with them, that these are some of the symptoms from those confusion spells. Is when you just keep losing shit. Like, can't figure out where you put your keys. And you know, of course, you could just be a forgetful person. But I'm talking about if the shit is magnified, where it's like, you know you put your keys right here and now all of a sudden you can't find them. Or you can't remember something that you never had a problem remembering before. That could be side effects of the confusion spells that are being done in your presence. And the way around that is just to burn some sage. Whoever is living with this person, or if they have to have interactions in close spaces with this person, you need to be burning sage every motherfucking day of your life. And I think I saw that. I wish I would have pulled that card. I saw lavender sage, but whatever kind of sage, Palo Santo, rosemary, smudge sticks, you need to be burning herbs to cleanse the air all the time with this person. Protecting yourself. Okay, because their energy is so draining and they're constantly doing spells. So you need to be constantly cleansing your aura. You cut them off and they're still watching. Oh, hell yeah, they're watching. This person, like I said, they don't sleep with them. They're not in a romantic relationship with them anymore. But this person is still stalking them on everything. Seek someone to perform, to do a hex breaking ritual. This to me is just saying, be aware that they are trying to hex you. And so what you need to do is make sure you're cleansing your space. Now, some of you may need some professional help to cleanse, but I'm of the school of thought that I'm more powerful than anything somebody outside of me can do. So I don't need to pay anybody to cleanse anything. All I need to do is assert my own dominance and authority over my space and my aura. This person can't touch me. They can't touch anything that's connected to me. Then bottom of the deck, you got secretly jealous and hating on your romantic relationship. And of course, that's where it all comes out. Or that's where it all, comes from, is they're jealous that the person loves you. That's it. That's all. When you weren't a problem, they didn't care if this person cheated. They didn't care that this person wasn't totally faithful to them. They didn't care about none of that. They only started caring when this person fell in love with you, because you have the ability to destroy their life, and you already have. You've already destroyed their illusions. You've already exposed the spell work. You've already exposed this person's true energy. Now, this person doesn't sleep with them no more. This person doesn't care to be around them. You've already destroyed their life. And it's going to continue being destroyed until it's all the way crumbled. Because that's what this person gets. It's their karma. It's not going to stop. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse for this person. So you can expect for them to keep doing worse and worse and worse spells. But ironically, even though they're doing more and more and more spells and trying to up the intensity of them, they're going to affect this person less and less and less. They already don't affect you, but they're going to affect this person, your divine counterpart, less and less and less and less, because they keep growing in their own power. They keep coming into their own. So this person is just running around like a hamster on a treadmill, and they're not getting anywhere doing all of this stupid ass spell work, other than running themselves into the ground, other than burning themselves out and losing money, paying other people to do spells that aren't working. Trying to stop a destiny that always was going to be. I know I said I was done, but I got to take these two. Copycat and competition. Trying to be just like you. Always trying to one-up you. What did I say before with that? What was it? The trickster one that came out? I don't remember. That talk about you behind your back, maybe. They're constantly comparing themselves to you. Constantly. They can't help but try to get people to think they're better than you. And no one thinks it. People might lie to them, might tell them what they want to hear, but I can guarantee you no one believes this person is better than you in anything. Because all you have to do is look at the quality of y'all's life. All you have to do is look at the quality of your life and the quality of their life. This person hasn't accomplished anything. This person doesn't have any accolades, spiritual or natural. This person's beauty doesn't compare to yours. Their intelligence doesn't compare to yours. Their educational endeavors don't compare to yours. It literally, in any arena that you want to compare, any sector of life, from academics to accolades to career to entrepreneurship to motherhood or fatherhood to beauty to sex to body image. I mean, literally, there is no arena that this person could compare to you. But they need people to tell them they're better than you. So, you know, they sit around with their girlfriends or their family, and their family tells them, like, yeah, I don't know why he would want the collective anyway. You way better than her or him. And, you know, they tell them what they want to hear. I mean, what good friend wouldn't? You know, I'm happy you have friends that will lie to you. You know what I mean? It's not hurting you for them to sit around and talk about you. But it must be very miserable for them to have to constantly be compared to you and feel the need to try to one-up you. Then you have Mars retrograde, impulsive rage or anger, hostility, major blowouts, fights, and violence. So be prepared for this next, this is a Mars retrograde, but for some reason, I'm just hearing Mercury retrograde. Be prepared for this next Mercury retrograde, for this energy to get a lot more hostile. And that's coming up. If we're not already in it, I know it's starting soon. So be prepared during this time for this energy to be even more hostile, to try and be even more sneaky and conniving, and for things to intensify a bit. Everything's coming to a head. So hope that was helpful for you guys. I couldn't leave without showing y'all this. Their envy towards you stems from deep-rooted childhood wounds. And it does. This person was abandoned in childhood. I don't know. Spirit just told me that over and over again about this Queen of Swords energy. They were abandoned in childhood. I don't know if maybe, you know, their real dad left or something and they were raised by a stepdad or a stepmom. That's what I see in my head, is like this person having a set of parents, but it wasn't their biological parents, or at least one of them wasn't. And this person was abandoned. They never got over that. It's a very deep abandonment wound. And instead of healing that and trying to make peace with that, come to terms, take your power back from that situation, what they did was they became extremely narcissistic, and they began using their body and using their words to try and trap people with them so that they can't leave, so that they don't have to experience that abandonment wound again. So your person, your divine counterpart, wanting to leave them triggers all these wounds from their past of being abandoned, even if they don't realize it. It does. That's what's happening. That's what makes them go so crazy about this, because they put in so much work and effort to try and keep this person with them so that they wouldn't ever have to experience true abandonment from this person. But they always were going to experience it because that's their karma. They haven't healed that wound. So they're going to continue experiencing abandonment until they heal it. You can't expect someone to give up their life because you don't want to face a wound. You know what I mean? So they always were going to be left by this person, whether it was for you or for somebody else, but you're this person's twin flame. So of course it was going to be for you. They have deep-seated issues with these childhood wounds, and that's what makes them act so crazy. It's simply because they're trying to avoid more pain instead of healing. But again, that's their problem, not yours.